Hello guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. I'm doing back-to-back By Kilian Fragrances, courtesy of Dr. Jeffrey, who gifted me or lent me, either way, four of the samples of By Kilian from his collection. I'm very thankful. I just did Forbidden Games. I think that one is very nice, fresh, fruity, clean, floral. But the one I'm about to do is one of the bigger fragrances. It's called Back to Black. So these are going to be official sample reviews with the sprayable testers. I have it on my hand for some time, and I have early morning tea. It's around 7 a.m. on the dot in Dhaka right now. So this fragrance is not to be confused with Mansera's Black to Black, which is similarly named, totally different fragrance to a different house. Okay, and this fragrance actually have few things, good things to say about it. All right. So first of all, by Kilian, they actually made a lot of fragrances that I love, but I never could own one because I feel like my journey. I covered a lot of By Kilian fragrance. If you go to my channel, if you search by Kilian Joy, I mean, I thought I covered this, but I actually haven't. But By Kilian is one of my favorite houses. At first, I felt they're overhyped, a little bit overpriced. I didn't have much experience with them, but I tried some of them. I did some full bottle reviews. Then I started growing love for them. Like especially the boozy fragrance that they make, the coffee-based fragrances, Straight to Heaven. What's the other one? Uh, Not pure malt, was the other one, the boozy ones, single malt. um, I'm still waiting to try apple brandy. I tried a clone of it, it's very yummy. Yeah, then my favorite is obviously like Rolling in Love, my number one absolute favorite. So this fragrance right here is kind of surprising. I forgot about the samples that I had in my drawer, and I just took it out. I'm like, okay, yesterday I was cleaning out all my bottles, they look a little bit shiny, don't they? So I took out all of them, I cleaned the dust, threw away the unnecessary boxes, so I'm in a better mood. Let's try Black to Black. So Black to Black is very popular. I think it's kind of like unisex gourmand once again. It's a very big honey fragrance. Okay, to my nose, that is one note that dominates this perfume. It's very sweet, and this fragrance reminds me of a couple of other fragrances. And this is very sweet, but not to the sweet, that point of sweet that it makes you sick in your guts, but kind of like that honey note is something to do with this fragrance. I have it and I immediately recognize the note. 1821 sweet tobacco spirit. This is in the same league with Naxos, Pure Havan, all those great tobacco based fragrance, which this one also is. This one also has that honey note, very sweet honey, and the red wine accord. This one, I don't know if there's red wine accord in it, but it smells very close to that one, which is much cheaper than this one, but the quality is the same. So just to give you a comparison a little bit, the 1821 sweet tobacco spirit, you can get it well under $100. Black to Black will cost Back to Black will cost you at least 3 times more for 50 ml full presentation. So be mindful of it. If you are By Kilian fan, that wouldn't bother you. If you can afford it, its price point wouldn't bother you. But this fragrance also has a cherry note, cherry, tobacco, honey, three notes that stands out, and there are many other notes, I believe. Some spicy cake. It reminds me of another fragrance I also have, I love, which is Replica's, um, I forget the name, lipstick on. If you see the juice color, you can also tell this is very much sweet, kind of like tonka, cherry, kind of like a sweet, like the iris is there, but it reminds me of Feve Delicieuse. So this fragrance also reminds me of Feve Delicieuse, of that cherry note. So yeah, if you like these fragrances, this is gonna be very easy for you to love, and you'll be like, oh, okay. You just spray it. Let me spray it once more. I really like it. It's very sticky, kind of honey, and why doesn't spray? Okay, yeah, there you go. All right. So when you spray it for the first time, you move it around the air like that. It smells very nice, very sweet, and that cherry and that honey, it just makes a very nice little combination. It feels like winter is almost knocking on the door, and the sweetness is not as intense as 1821, but it's right up there. So some people would say this is not an authentic honey note. Of course, they're not going to put honey in your fragrance, honey. But this fragrance actually feels very well made. I really love it. It's very much on the borderline of unisex perfume, because women would love it as much as men do. I don't know if this is made for just women also. I don't know. But it's a very nice tobacco. It's a very nice hint of spices somewhere there. And what else am I picking from it? There are some other notes in the background. It's could be some sort of herbs or spices, but not too much. It's more on the sweeter side, not so dark as well, but it's mysterious. So I would say longevity on this is pretty good, but projection, it's not. It's kind of like not shy, but it's moderate. It's not huge. The sillage is not huge, but it sticks to your skin for a very long time. That's a good thing about it. So I would imagine this one leather jacket time. Cold weathers, mild cold weathers. You can see the moon, some clouds piling. It's a cool breezy night, and you are just like wearing this. Is a very beautiful fragrance. I can imagine on women it's gonna smell heavenly. So this perfume is kind of like, again, gourmand due to that honey note. Okay, so I really like it. I think this is one of my favorites, definitely top 3 Kilians at this current moment. Really lovely. I was expecting like something black, back to black. It could be like something like John Vervetto's, uh, the way they make Dark Rebel and those. This is not that. This is very romantic, sweet. Think of Midnight in Paris kind of fragrances. Think of some sweet, like romantic fragrances. It's very, very romantic. Okay. I think Valentine's Day, this would be great fragrance for married people, for candlelight dinner with a beautiful rose present on the table, dark rose. Even though this one doesn't have any rose, but the rose actually complements this fragrance quite well. And you can have absolutely glass of red wine. It's gonna go beautiful. That richness of the red wine with this honey and then the cherry sweetness and the tobacco, perfect. It's a perfection. It's a heavenly fragrance. I'll give it perfect 10 out of 10. So if it's worth the money, I don't know. Try to get a sample. You can tell for yourself. But perhaps if you already have these fragrances, Feve Delicieuse, 1821, then lipstick on. Perhaps it could be a nice little addition if you like this kind of fragrances. But if you don't want redundant fragrances, if you have 1821, this can come off a little bit redundant. But if you like this kind of fragrances and you cannot afford By Kilian, you can absolutely go with this one. This is a masterpiece of fragrance. If you love honey, this one also gives you that pleasure. Great performer, but By Kilian would perform a little bit better. But again, this is going to be easy pick for me if budget is an issue. But overall, for the smell composition, I'm giving Back to Black 10 out of 10 for perfection. Beautiful fragrance. Thank you, Doc, very much for your generosity. I almost forgot that I had all these samples. Thanks for watching. Perhaps later part of the day I'll do some more reviews. Take care for now. Have a nice day. Bye bye.